SRV was set up as part of the state government's elder abuse prevention strategy, and we're funded through two government departments, Victoria Legal Aid and the Office of Senior Victorians.
There's not a lot of other services available that are geared towards older Victorians.
It's important, I think, that older people have this specific service that is really about them and for them.
We talk directly to the older person and, so far as possible, facilitate the older person's understanding and decision making.
It's very important for people to be able to go to a service that is free and independent.
Senior Rights Victoria's main office is situated within the CBD. However, we are a statewide service.
Our concern is with older people who may be experiencing mistreatment, neglect or even abuse.
And that may be financial abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, physical abuse or sexual abuse.
We work with people who are over the age of 60 and over the age of 45 for someone who's from an Indigenous background.
Principally, we provide telephone or face-to-face advice to callers who ring us through our switchboard for legal advice.
Older people aren't always going to be wanting or able to necessarily take just the legal option that's available to them, because that may damage their relationships, and those relationships need to be maintained.
And those calls are now being taken and meetings are now attended by an advocate as well as a lawyer.
Often the advocate has an important role when a person doesn't wish to take up their legal remedies.
The lawyers and advocates work very closely to provide a holistic service to the client.
The advocates at Seniors' Rights come from either a nursing or a social work background, and they're able to assist clients with anything that's non-legal, so it can be quite broad.
So the advocate offers a really important service in tandem with the lawyer, and our lawyers and advocates work in a team, like each lawyer and advocate work together, so it's a holistic service that the older person is getting. We also have a broader role to play in preventing elder abuse, and we do that in a couple of ways. Part of it is through community education.
The community education activities are presentations and seminars to the community directly to inform and empower them, and also to workers.
But we also play a role in prevention through the law reform and systemic advocacy work we do with government and other key bodies.
Seniors' Rights Victoria commonly receives calls from older men and women who own property, their own home.
In many cases, the older people are conflicted, and the conflict is often between their own interests and those of their often adult children.
The complexity is in knowing how to go into that situation, how to find out what it is the older person wants and needs without damaging what they want to hang on to, and then, you know, providing them with access to perhaps services, the legal remedies, perhaps helping them to protect themselves better from the person they live with while still living with them, working out a safety plan for them. There's a whole range of ways that we do that, but that's why the situation is complicated.
An older person, when they call Seniors' Rights Victoria, will initially speak with someone from the SRV helpline.
If they need an interpreter, that would be provided. What we do is have a chat with them about the issues that they're seeking assistance with, and if it fits within the Senior Rights Victoria criteria, we would make either a telephone or a face-to-face appointment for them.
All the information that we obtain from the older person is confidential.
If an older person calls and wants to stay anonymous, we can certainly provide them with information. However, if they're looking for advice from Senior Rights Victoria, we need their details.
Service providers often do ring us with concerns they may have about an older client. We do provide them with advice and information. We're more than happy to do that, but it's on a sort of no-names basis. We don't want to know any details about their client.
But we can give general advice, not specific advice, to them, which sometimes helps them to know what steps they might want to take next.
But we would also probably talk through with them a way of them talking to their client so that their client became aware of our service and so that their client could contact our service if they needed to.
The support we provide to friends and family will depend on what our client wants us, how our client wants us to work with those people.
We would recommend that all family and friends do contact Seniors Rights Victoria's helpline to seek information on elder abuse. However, we do recommend that the older person contact our service directly.
Occasionally there'll be circumstances in which that simply isn't possible, and then we'll try and work with the family member or friend in a limited way to get access to the older person.
So there's an overall presumption that a person has capacity when they come to our service.
The business of capacity is not, as far as we regard it anyway, a traffic light. It's not either red or green, either you have it or you don't. Capacity is something which is very circumstantial.
Capacity is a very complex issue, but Seniors Rights Victoria presumes that everybody has capacity unless there is strong evidence to the contrary.
We at Seniors Rights Victoria are quite open to assisting a range of older clients who may present with certain cognitive decline.
Even if, say, their memory has declined, there are certain things they may be perfectly able to make decisions about, and really need support and assistance and confidence to make those decisions.
SRV actually takes an approach to older people that is based on empowering older people, helping them to assert their rights, take back control of their lives.
We believe that an older person has the right to make decisions based on their own desires.
Quite often we might find that an older person is used to someone giving instructions on their behalf.
It's our approach to try and determine what the position, what the wishes of the older person are, and that often begins with an explanation and assistance to the older person about the fact that they have the right to make their own decisions and that they can do so, and we can help them do that.
What that means is that we really try and assist older people to take back control over their lives that they might have lost either completely or lost a degree of, and to give them confidence again to do that.
Everything that happens within Senior Rights Victoria is driven by you, the older person, and you can take as long as you like to take part in this process.
We would never compel a person to take up our advice. We would make sure that they were well informed of all their options and the consequences of those options, but we would accept their wishes and encourage them to make their own decision.
Seniors Rights Victoria exists as a service because there's a recognition, I suppose, generally that older people's rights and wishes are often being overridden. So the empowerment approach is really about redressing the balance, and it wouldn't make sense to have a service for older people that didn't empower them.
I consider Seniors Rights Victoria to be incredibly important because we're an independent service that's able to step in and support and advise and inform and assist an older person make decisions about what they want to do with their lives.
People access Senior Rights Victoria through our helpline, and the telephone number for that is 1300 368 821. People can call that line anytime between 10 and 5, Monday to Friday. If they call outside this time, they can leave a message and we'll respond to them on the next working day.